Welcome back, everybody. Let's dive right into today's markets. We're back with Barry Ritholtz, Noah Blackstein, Herb Greenberg, and Cody Willard. Herb Greenberg, I remember the internet bubble. This commodity thing reminds me of the internet bubble, although the stocks were strong today. Freeport, McMoran, Phelps, Dodge, Alcoa, Nucor, and you name it. But nonetheless, Herb, how's this feel to you? Has this got an internet bubble feel to it?
Well, it's more like it has the housing bubble feel to me, at least how it did 3 years ago when I thought it was a bubble, and I'm afraid to say the same thing about this. I spent a good part of the day talking to a lot of people who are somehow involved in the commodities market and, following either in the pits or people who follow commodities for their hedge funds. And I seem to come away with nobody really feeling strongly that there's a bubble. It's very interesting. They're not feeling that way in the pits. They're not feeling that way, in the markets. However, because you see such demand, Larry, there's clearly demand there. But the caveat is there's clearly so much speculation now going into that you have it's a great tug of war about what the dynamics of that market really are.
Noah Blackstein, some copper analysts are saying demand is stabilizing and supply is growing rapidly. Production of copper is up major, and they're saying you're back into a copper surplus. Why are these prices going up? Is it hedge fund speculation? Is it index fund speculation? Is it carry trade speculation? Or, Noah, do you like the commodity play?
I think now the pipes in my house are worth more than my house. So I think, though, that there's obviously demand from China. How the Chinese demand more at higher prices is beyond me, but they seem to. But I think that look, there's a huge amount. I think Bill Miller in his first quarter letter was a brilliant letter. That more and more investment dollars are being allocated to commodities. And there's a huge move by pension funds and hedge funds and other alternative investment strategies to buy and hold these metals, and it's creating a significant amount of demand.
You own any?
Gold ETF.
No, are you long any of these things?
I do not.
After this scintillating analysis tonight, are you going to go in tomorrow and buy some commodity stocks?
No, I'm going to rip down my house and sell the copper pipes.
Freeport McMoran, the CEO, told me it cost him 9.5 cents to lift copper. 9.5 cents per pound. He's selling it now at what, $3.50?
Yep.
That's unbelievable spread. Unbelievable.
Freeport probably has the greatest mine in the world. It's the world's greatest copper mine with gold for free.
Well, if you're going to own this, wouldn't you own the stocks right now instead of the metal? Wouldn't the metal be the riskiest part of the component?
Yes.
There's actually a trade now where people are shorting the metal and getting long the underlying equities, the mining companies, which is a risky trade because if it happens to unwind, remember what happened with the GM equity and the GM bonds.
Exactly.
If you bet that wrong, it's going to hurt twice.
Yeah.
It's a very, very risky trade. But I know a lot of other hedge funds that are doing that.
Is some of this excess liquidity? I mean, you name Ben Bernanke, the Neville Chamberlain of monetary policy. He's had nothing but trouble. He's now got Maria Bartiromo as his communications specialist.
That's a problem.
He's basically, the dollar is falling. I mean, he's not having a great beginning. Is Ben Bernanke part of this copper/commodity/gold rally?
I don't think so. There's the curse of the new Fed chair. We saw it with Greenspan in the '87 crash. We saw it with Volcker and inflation running away. Every time a new Fed chair comes in, there's a problem. I think that he probably believed that meeting was off record, and now he's learned. Reuters reported he walked past a bunch of reporters. They asked him a bunch of questions. He didn't even say no comment. He walked right by him on the way in and right by him on the way out.
But we've been pointing to. It seems that the inflationists out there have always been looking for something to yell about. I mean, a year and a half ago, we'd be talking about the ridiculousness of housing prices. And now that housing prices have pulled back 10, 15, even in some places 30%, now we're on to the next thing as a sign of inflation. My understanding is inflation is a rise in the price of everything. And I think if you look at the monetary aggregates or interest rates, we're starting to tighten in here pretty well. So
I'm going to disagree with everything Noah said. Housing prices were strictly a function of low interest rates. I don't think there's a bubble, but it's certainly an extended asset class that can come back. And what you mentioned, the liquidity, that's been a major driver in everything, in equities worldwide, in metals, in oil, in gold. It's hard to say there's no inflation with the 10-year at 5.16 and all these gold and other precious metals rocking and rolling.
I will only say this. The TIPS inflation spread is about 60 basis points above its 5-year average. It has expanded about 25 basis points so far this year, but that is not horrific. That's a fairly minor move. Cody, you wrote a great piece, A Better Time to Buy Phelps Dodge or Microsoft. I believe you concluded you'd rather own Microsoft.
Well, you know, I looked at it was one of those things. I started looking at the market caps, and it was just I saw Phelps Dodge running at an $18 billion market cap today. And I am actively loading up on Microsoft at a $250 billion market cap. In other words, I'm paying 12 times more for the single greatest company in the history of the planet, Microsoft, with 90% gross margins on a product that is going to be hitting the marketplace in 6 months. Or I can buy Phelps Dodge, where we've got an $18 billion market cap. As we're talking about the liquidity into the stocks, let's talk about the actual investments that going into producing more copper, more of these commodities.
Even though Microsoft has had the same market cap for a long time, they've had nothing but trouble.
But isn't that when you buy?
Gates may be taking over the company, which is not a bad thing. Go ahead, Herb.
Isn't that what the definition of a great value stock is, especially one that's loaded with cash? And even if there's a great disappointment and the new software is pushed back again, you know, you still have a great cushion there, and at some point it will deliver. And we're in such a market where people want these instant results.
Well, Noah Blackstein, is it a value stock or is it a dog, Noah? You got to distinguish on the way down between a dog and a value.
You know, about a year ago, I think I had mentioned to a few people that I thought there was never more risk in Microsoft than there was a year ago. To tell you the truth, I think they look a lot like IBM in the 1980s.
Sure.
They are under a major assault from Google. They are under a major assault from Apple, from Linux, from open source, from Adobe. There's a whole bunch of companies.
What would happen if suddenly they went out and merged with Yahoo? How would that affect that whole scenario?
It screw up both companies.
It would certainly. I mean, it would change.
Cody, is that possible?
I don't see that. There's no way that Microsoft actually goes in and plays up for Yahoo, and there's no way that Yahoo wants to partner with Microsoft.
But Noah Blackstein, I noticed I was looking for your picks today, and I kept staring at this list, and the list says Apple, Starbucks, and Goldman Sachs. And I said to myself, there's something missing from Noah's list. There's something missing, and I thought long and hard with my senior memory, and the answer is Google. You've dropped Google from your list. Why is that,
no,
Noah?
Your producer had to leave early, so she didn't get a chance to write it down.
You're still in Google.
I'm still long, and I still like Google. I still recommend it.
And are you still in Yahoo?
No, I'm not in Yahoo. I haven't been in Yahoo for quite some time.
Would you buy Yahoo on the bet that Microsoft would actually acquire Yahoo? I mean, that is pretty wild.
All Microsoft would do would take a piece in order to get in the door for this new advertising area they're trying to roll in. I'm going to actually agree with Noah. I think Microsoft is a tired company, and it's a value stock, but I'm betting it's somewhere in the 18 to 22 area. We're not quite there. The chart is broken. You look at those two companies, you got to go with what's working. Big caps haven't worked. Microsoft hasn't worked.
You don't have to go with what's working.
Long.
I'm looking out 2 to 3 years, and I say the time to buy Microsoft is when everybody hates it.
But you don't want Phelps Dodge. The basic point is you don't like Phelps Dodge.
Without a doubt.
You're staying away from the commodity play.
1,000 days ago, I could have bought Phelps Dodge for $500 million. Today, I have to pay $18 billion for it. 9 years ago, to your point, I could have bought Microsoft for $250 billion. Today, I can buy it for $250 billion, right before they have a brand new operating system, Xbox.
Cody.
But that's built in.
Go ahead, Noah. Go ahead, Noah.
Go ahead, Noah. 8 times cash flow.
So, Cody, why are you going to upgrade to Vista?
Vista is going to be, it's equivalent to, it's not like Windows 2000 XP. Vista is going to have all kinds of networking technologies that are going to, and video technologies. It's going to be much more integrated. And when you start throwing on the processor and the actual, when you start looking at what the computers are going to be looking like, say, in 18 months from today, there's no way that that corporate America is going to sit back and look.
No, he's not going to upgrade. He's got an iMac in his office. That's why you won't upgrade.
Hey, let's have some fun real quick. Come on, bing, bing, bing. Sirius XM, bang.
I own XM for a trade. I would not touch them for an investment.
Noah, Sirius XM.
One or the other?
Yeah, either one.
I'd go with Mel Karmazin and Sirius Satellite.
And, all right, Cody, what about IAC? Diller's profits down. He had a rough quarter.
You know, I've never understood the philosophy of buying a company whose real competitive advantage is, ooh, let's overpay for Expedia this week and let's spin it out next week.
Herb Greenberg, I'm going to end with you because you have great, you filed some great blue note cards today. I was getting all excited about the commodity bubble, but you're backing off, buddy. I thought you were going to slam these commodity stocks into the ground.
I went out and did what a reporter did. I went out and did what a reporter did, and I did some reporting.
All right, hang on, everybody. We're coming back with you on the firing line. Up next is Commerce Secretary Gutierrez. He's going to weigh in on the great American boom. He'll have something to say about New Orleans. By the way, President Bush's speech yesterday, optimism versus the Democrats' pessimism. I thought Mr. Bush framed it pretty darn well. Now, here's a program note for tomorrow's show. I will be traveling to the White House for an exclusive one-on-one interview with President Bush. Make sure to tune in, as always, 5 p.m. Eastern. You won't want to miss it. Kudlow and Company coming straight back.